today because he always keeps his promises, right?
We're live, by the way.
Well, fuck everybody who has a problem with it. I live 3 miles from an Air Force base, so yay, I'm in striking distance. And then we have another Air Force base in Cape Canaveral, which is only 30 minutes from me. So, and we have a couple airports around me. So, prime target location. If they ever decided to go for Florida first, we also have the Space Center here. So we launch all the shuttles and SpaceX just 35 minutes down the road from where I live.
What up,
we
Finch?
will see how they decide to come after us, but apparently those two have in fact had a ceasefire.
I know one thing. If they start recruiting people randomly, I'm taking my happy ass back to Mexico. That's what I'm doing.
Well, I can tell you one thing. I don't have to draft Dodge. I won't. Just about everybody is basically like can get drafted. They draft men first constitutionally unless it changes. Women would get drafted after if they needed, but I have medical disabilities. I automatically get disqualified just being a liability.
How you doing, Finch? Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Miss you, dude. We gotta link up soon. Shout out to
I don't even think I'm of age, but yeah, I have a medical disability too, so I would technically be safe.
Bloods.
We don't have to really worry about a World War III anyway.
Yeah.
China's entire market is China's entire market revolves around trade and manufacturing, and that gets destroyed by war. And Russia's in the middle of a Ukraine.
All right,
so
Mr. Bludd. All right. As much as I would love to make this a politics podcast, let's talk about wrestling.
Oh no, I'm just telling everybody we're going to be safe.
Are you guys ready?
Last episode that turned into a Pokemon podcast.
Yeah, wrestling wise, I'm extremely worried about this event this Saturday with Night of Champions. Apparently, they have until Wednesday to change the location, but there's no word yet because they still keep advertising for Saudi. So,
all right, let's get into it, shall we?
Yeah.
All right, let's mute.
What's good? What's poppin'? What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Snug Wrestling Podcast. We're a little bit late tonight. Today's actually tomorrow is my boy's birthday. He's turning 16 years old. So tonight we had a little family dinner for him. So I was a little bit late, but we're here. I was able to catch up on Raw finally, and we're gonna go over it because it was a pretty decent Monday Night Raw heading into Night of Champions, or at least what we think is still gonna go down this weekend after everything that's happening in, the world of politics that I don't really feel like getting into. But we are going to be going over Monday Night Raw. The Snug crew is here. What up, Bludd? What up, Tommy? What up, Toxic? How y'all doing tonight?
Biggie.
Pretty good. Pretty decent episode of Raw, honestly. It kind of felt like it went by a lot faster than normal, to be fair.
Yeah, it definitely went faster for me because since I wasn't watching it live, it skips right through the commercials right away, which was lovely. But yeah, thank you guys for being here, for being flexible and, being here last minute. We were originally going to do this tomorrow night, but we were able to bang it out tonight. Pause. So let's get into it, man. Seth Rollins kicked things off, and he came out, and actually, I really like this promo by Seth Rollins, and I say actually because I tend to get annoyed by Seth Rollins pretty easily, but tonight for some reason I didn't. I really liked Seth Rollins, how he came out tonight and reminded all of us of his history of who he is. And it's kind of hard to forget, at least for me, because I'm not a big Seth Rollins fan, the things he's actually accomplished. And he's calling out everyone in the main roster, all the top stars. And he even addressed the crowd. He was like, one day you boo me, the next you're cheering for me. What do you guys want? You guys don't even know what you guys want. And he's standing next to these group of elite, like, top guys. Well, not top guys, but badasses. So Seth Rollins is a force to take very, very, very seriously. And this led to the match with Penta versus Braun Breaker, which I thought it was going to be LA Knight versus Braun Breaker, but for some reason it was Penta. But let's get started with the opening segment for Seth Rollins. Mr. Bludd, what did you think about Seth Rollins tonight?
I'm inclined to agree with you. It's not that I find Seth unbearable most of the time. It's that for so long he felt incredibly stale because his character wasn't a character. It was, I'm a guy named Seth Rollins who can wrestle really well, and my theme song is incredibly over, and people sing my theme song, and I wear incredibly outlandish shit. That was Seth Rollins. No real depth, no real ideology, no real character that we haven't seen from him in a very long time. The last time I can even remember him having a true definitive character was when he was the Monday Night Messiah during the pandemic. So the main complaint from Seth Rollins' heel turn since he turned heel at Mania was that he felt like it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel organic. It didn't feel natural. There was something about it that felt off to a lot of people. This promo, I think, set a lot of that straight because he is responsible for Black and Gold NXT getting off the ground in the way that it did from his wrestling style. He captivated everybody. He did turn things on ahead by leading the Shield. It is because of him that Roman Reigns became the star that he is. When he turned on Roman, that was one of the most replayed moments of the last decade and a half in professional wrestling. Roman's entire character arcs are heavily motivated by the fact that he feels like he can't trust anyone, that he is always betrayed, that everybody close to him eventually screws him over. And notice how he never does it to them. Seth is the reason Roman is the way that he is. That's true. Cody finished the story because Seth sacrificed himself so Cody could finish the story. It's a lot. Everything he said, there weren't any lies. When Punk came back, they wanted to capitalize on him and Punk's hatred for each other for money. He called that out. That is right. That's correct. So I like that he's pulling from history and we're keeping in continuity with that. When it comes to this, it just, the further it goes on, I want to see more out of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed than just the guy standing behind the guy. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're going to pull these guys into the future with you, right? That's what he kept saying tonight. This is the future, the future. They can't be standing behind you. They need to be side by side with you. I understand that this is a leadership type of thing, but you got to bring these guys up. It's great that you're talking about yourself, but I don't want to just hear how great these guys are in passing lines in a promo. Tell me why they're so dangerous. We've still yet to get an explanation as to why he specifically put to bed his problems with Bronson Reed. Okay. We got a little explanation from Heyman weeks ago, but I want to know why Seth feels that way, because Bronson tried to freaking send him to hell. Okay. He tried to destroy the man's midsection. I need more explanation. This is probably one of his better promos since turning heel. I'm excited to see where it goes, but let's build off this and keep this going. I still do believe we need to get rid of the fucking theme song. We need the fans to hate you, not give them a reason to feel connected to you more and more.
Yeah, Seth didn't really say any. He was speaking the truth tonight. Almost everything he said. Don't ask me what he said that's lies. I don't remember. That was in the beginning of the show, so obviously don't remember. Yeah, almost everything he said tonight was true. The way Roman Reigns is today, that's because of him. The way why CM Punk is over as hell right now is mainly because of him. Because they wanted to capitalize on Seth hating CM Punk. That's why I'm pretty sure whenever the Monday after Punk returned, Seth was the first one to come out and confront him. Anyways, the match with Penta and Braun Breaker was. I said to myself, what a way to fucking kick off Raw. That match was amazing. I saw the part where Penta went to the ropes. It looked like his head went in between the top and middle rope, and it looked like it just snapped. I don't know. It looked weird to me. Yeah. But the match in the beginning promo was amazing, and this was an amazing way to kick off Raw.
So I am going to bring up something that Toxic said in our chats, which also goes along with Seth Rollins over here saying, "We are the future. I am like this entire group is the future. We are going through because this is my stuff." On the back of Braun Breaker's gear, it literally said the future. So is that their name? Because if that's their name, that's pretty damn cliche to me. To just name the group after the two biggest words that Seth Rollins has been saying recently. It's like, I am, we are, the future. Like, no, stop it. It's kind of getting a little bit annoying here and there. But yeah, I do also agree, and this has been rumored as well, that Seth Rollins will be getting a new theme. But that has not been corroborated whatsoever. So far, it is just his current song. And I'm with Bludd here when he says that Seth needs a new one. He really does, because as Bludd said, he needs to be hated. He needs to be despised. People need to want to boo him. And with that song, that's not going to happen whatsoever. People are not going to want to boo you. They are going to want to sing your song, as they have for like over a year now, as they've had for like 2-3 years. They have nothing but sing his song every time he comes out. He needs a new one to make him look way more intimidating than that song actually puts him.
When it comes to the match between Penta and Braun Breaker, I mean, what is there really? There's really nothing here to complain about or be nitpicky about this match. It was a long competitive match. Penta, I guess he's been getting involved with Seth Rollins and his crew as well, which is the reason why we got this match. And Braun Breaker went over. I mean, as he should. Penta, he's been great in the WWE, but Braun Breaker, he's just a whole nother animal. I'm sorry to all the Penta fans out there, but I didn't think for a second Penta had a chance at all. Do you guys have any thoughts or anything that stood out that's worth mentioning about this match? Go ahead, Bludd.
Two things. One, the finish. Awesome finish. Great spear midair. One hell of a way to... Here's the thing. Penta, he's been built and kept up very, very well since they've brought him into WWE. So far, they are booking him correctly and strongly, and he feels like a real star, and that is so important if you're trying to build stars. He had a lot of great fanfare coming in from AEW, and just since he's been in WWE since January, the dude has been stellar, and they've treated him stellar, and they have been proving to us that they take him seriously, and that's awesome. So him losing here to Braun, there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make him look weak at all because Braun Breaker is insane. The second quick point, I love that at the end, Seth Rollins got in Penta's face and he said, "You get one warning. This is it. Stay out of my business. Last and only warning." So I wonder if this is the end of it for Penta, who's going to take that warning after Chad Gable kind of pissed him off backstage. But I like this. I like that Seth's group is reaching into a lot of different pots here.
Yeah, I believe Penta's exact words right after that was no. So I don't think Penta's going to, especially Penta, the fighting babyface that he is, he's not going to take no shit from nobody, especially Seth Rollins. Toxic, I know you already spoke a little bit about this match. Tommy, do you have anything to add about this match before we move on?
Just the fact that I really hope his ribs are okay, because this man got speared in half to end this. like Braun did not hold back whatsoever. He speared this man straight through. So yeah, which is why I'm like, okay, we'll see. Hopefully there's nothing going on with his ribs. So we'll see.
Yeah, it was a dope ass finish for sure. Lovely way to start off the show with this opening match between Penta and Braun Breaker, but I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit, and yes, I'm gonna skip Goldberg because what the fuck? I mean, who gives a shit really about Goldberg? No, I'm just kidding. We will talk about Goldberg here in a little bit, but I want to skip ahead to the Queen of the Ring semifinals match between Roxanne and Jade Cargill. Ended up being Jade Cargill winning. I was wrong. I was predicting Roxanne. I thought Roxanne was going to pull a quick one on Jade Cargill, but I'm going to start off my review of this with the big question to you guys because first of all, they kept repeating in this match that Jade Cargill is overconfident. She's overconfident that she's not. That's why Roxanne was getting so much offense on her. But is it just me or the referee, I believe her name is Jessica Carr, was calling the spots for Jade every single time throughout this whole entire match? And this is something that I noticed specifically for this match. I don't know if this is something that referees usually do. I haven't wrestled for the WWE. I don't know if this is a common thing. If it is, I've never noticed this before, but it was literally Jessica Carr walking Jade Cargill throughout this whole entire match, move by move, spot by spot. Clearly obvious in the camera. And that kind of threw me out of this match. I wanted to get into this match. I wanted to suspend my disbelief a little bit to just be like, oh, okay, this is going to be a good match, the much bigger Jade Cargill versus Roxanne, but it was just, the chemistry just was not there for me when it comes to these two. But Jade Cargill advances. She's gonna face Asuka, and the commentators were saying, Asuka's got a big challenge up ahead, and I'm saying Asuka's challenge is to see if she can get a good match out of Jade Cargill at Night of Champions. That's what I think. But Bludd, go ahead. What did you think about this match here?
I have been saying this. I think I've been the most outspoken on this panel about this. Jade is just not ready. She's green. And yeah, I did notice Jessica Carr directing Jade like a traffic officer through over half of this match. Again, and I've said this before, this is exactly why they paired Jade with Bianca. They paired Jade with Bianca because they needed Bianca to take all the bumps and do all the crazy moves and then let Jade come in and get her cool spots. And they used Bianca to protect Jade. That was why they were a tag team for so long. I've said this so many times. This is the main reason I don't buy into Jade and Tiffany Stratton feuding, because I don't buy Tiffany as a champion, and I sure as hell don't buy Jade as a worthy contender. I haven't been able to see anybody get a good, great match out of Jade unless she's had a tag partner help her through the match and take the brunt of the offense and then let her just get the crazy cool spots. I don't think it comes down to just AEW mistraining Jade and then WWE having to retrain her when she originally arrived last year. I think it comes down to Jade just doesn't get it. I don't think she gets it. She gets the entertainment, charismatic part of it. She doesn't get the in-ring mentality part of it. I feel like she's got a disconnect here between the process or something. I think it was the wrong call. I think it should have been Roxanne. The goal here is that I'm genuinely hoping they do the right thing and they fucking put Asuka over and we get Asuka versus Io. That's a much better match to me. I don't feel like there's enough fanfare behind Jade. And it's not even just Jade. The crowd didn't care about this match. They didn't give a shit. Crowd was very quiet through a lot of this. even though the story of working her left leg over was being told very well, in my opinion. And I thought Jade was selling it pretty well until she stopped selling it at the end to hit her fucking move. But as far as it's concerned, yeah, I just don't think she's ready for the main roster, to be 100% honest.
Yeah, she does a kick up. She's selling the leg, but then she does a kick up like 2 seconds later, and it's like, girl, your leg's fucked up. But I noticed that this, after watching this like really closely and paying attention, this kind of gives me like Hulk Hogan vibes. Like, Jade Cargill looks great. Jade Cargill must pose. You know, whenever they zoom in on her, they get the right angle, and they get the right picture on her. And
she looks like $1,000,000. She looks like a fucking star. But just like Hogan, she can't fucking wrestle.
I didn't notice what you were saying with the ref guiding Jade. I didn't notice that. I would have to go probably rewatch it, which that's probably what I'm gonna do. I thought the match was great. It's the classic powerhouse versus high flyer, or whatever you want to call Roxanne, where the tiny person in this case is the chicken shit. She was scared half of the match. She was like getting one thing and then running out the ring, and then it was just almost that the entire match. But I still thought it was good. I did think Jade was the right call here, just so we can have a good match between Asuka. Like, give Asuka a really good match, because I like that matchup. The face to face that they had after the match when Jade was just staring at the crowd. I think that looks like something I would want to see, but do I want to see Jade win? No, I don't. But we'll get into that on Wednesday. Yeah, I thought the match was great. Some might disagree, but that's just their opinions.
The match was fine. Honestly. Like, it felt fine. My issue with Jade is the fact that I feel like she should have gone to NXT first. They pushed her straight from AEW straight onto the main roster. And Bludd's right. She's not right. She should have gone to NXT and trained there for a little bit before coming up to the main roster. It feels off with her. Now, when it comes to Jade versus Asuka, we will see whether or not she is ready for Asuka. Usually, no one is. But we will also see whether or not Asuka will pull out something that she hasn't pulled out since before she got injured, which is that mist. The iconic mist that her and Shinsuke Nakamura both have used. We will see whether she actually pulls that out. It is the Empress of Tomorrow versus the Storm. I honestly am a little bit iffy on it. I mean, I love both these girls. I will save it for the predictions. I'm not putting in my pick just yet. But I'm just saying the match itself, I'm a bit iffy on it because of the fact that, as Bludd said, no one has really been able to get a good match out of her without Bianca Belair being by her side.
Yeah, and you guys bring up a good point about she probably should have gone to NXT, but man, at this point, I mean, fuck, I don't even think she has it to, really cut it in NXT either, compared to the girls that they got down there right now. Like, they even sent Nikita Lyons over to Evolve, I learned that recently. So I'm like, shit, maybe Jade Cargill should have gone to Evolve first. I don't know. Um, but yeah, man. So we get Asuka versus Jade Cargill, Night of Champions. We'll see how that happens. But if Jade Cargill wins the Queen of the Ring, she's got to face Tiffany Stratton. I don't know how I feel about that, like Mr. Bludd said, which is, oh boy. But all right, we'll get back to that probably tomorrow night when we do the predictions. We're going to talk about Goldberg now. There's really, I mean, we can't ignore this because it's Goldberg, but he had an interview with Michael Cole, and he pretty much explained the reason why he came back. It's because Gunther disrespected him in front of his son and his family. Great. Okay. Good to know. And then later on, we see Gunther come out. He's about to cut a promo in the ring, and I'm like, kind of just like, oh, I'm sorry. I love Gunther, but I don't care. I really don't care about this match of Gunther versus Goldberg. I'm sorry. But, I mean, it's Goldberg. We never asked for this match in the first place. I don't think Gunther has the ability to make me care for this match. And then I was wrong again. And Mr. Bludd, I'm going to call you out, my boy. Because if I remember correctly, you were one of the ones that said Gunther can't cut a promo. Gunther is not good in the mic. Gunther's lame. And let me tell you, you are wrong, Mr. Bludd. After this promo, I want to see Gunther beat the shit out of Goldberg. Even some people started cheering for Gunther because they don't want to see Goldberg either. But even the delivery, the material for what Gunther had was, you know, it's Goldberg, so he didn't hold back. You're just a 58-year-old old man. You know, I'm the best wrestler in the world. Gunther didn't tell no lies here, and it was intense. It was believable. He told the truth, and fuck, I want to see this now. So Gunther did his job, made me care about the match a little bit. So I want to get your thoughts on this, Mr. Bludd. How did you really think about Gunther after this promo?
As I was watching it, I legitimately had the thought, might be the best promo he's cut in about a year. Because even the ones that he cut against Jay, I didn't really feel that much from him on that. Because it's not that I ever said that Gunther was a bad promo. What I actually said was that when we were talking about him versus Jay was a better promo because Jay had more emotion and Gunther had a language barrier with his accent. So some of the words he said were stilted. So when he would cut a promo, Jey Uso, you may be a very, very talented tag team performer, but I am the ring general. It's just the cadence. It didn't feel like he had the same cadence to cut an impassioned promo. But tonight, he went out there and he just ripped. And again, I couldn't give a shit about this match, brother. My problem with this entire thing, because I don't even want to go into I don't even want us to do a segment on the Michael Cole sit down with him. I'm going to double that into this. Between that segment and this, Goldberg's reasoning for wanting this match is fucking stupid. We did get clarity that this is, in fact, supposed to be a retirement match. We got verbal confirmation. This is supposed to be a retirement match. And you know how little the WWE gives a shit about it? They're doing it at Saturday night's main event instead of SummerSlam. Okay? If this was such a big deal, it wouldn't be on a glorified house show on Peacock and NBC. As far as it's concerned, my problem with Gunther, or not Gunther, but Goldberg's reasoning for needing this match, one, you didn't fucking earn a shot. Why is Jay in a tournament, but you just get to call your shot? Okay? You ain't been on the roster in over 2 years. And two, here's my other problem. You got called out in like, what, November or some shit? And and someone bro, you didn't take a couple of walks between now and then and just let it roll off your shoulder. You let this shit bother you for fucking 8 months, and now you want to do something about it. Sounds to me like you don't really care about your family that much, Gunther, because it takes a match and $3 million fucking in a bag for you to go ahead and defend your family's honor. You're like, I'll defend my family's honor 8 months from now at a pay-per-view on contract for a championship that someone else probably deserves more than me in a final retirement match where I get all the media fare. That's your reasoning. It's so fucking stupid. I mean, it's not even that the whole reasoning is see-through, brother. I mean, you might as well just put on Harry Potter's invisibility cloak. Shit, this is transparent as fuck. I'm supposed to buy your need to get revenge on Gunther all this time later when you're getting paid out like crazy and you waited 8 months to defend your family's honor? Why didn't you jump his ass at the Rumble? Why didn't you jump his ass at Elimination Chamber? You've had all this time to get your licks back, to get in on him, spear his ass out of nowhere. You could have cost him the title at Mania and Jay would have won it that way. Whatever. Like, there were so many ways to do this. This was stupid.
Hey, you probably didn't hear Goldberg's reasoning for getting that title shot, Mr. Bludd, did you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 58, not 48, da 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 da.
No, he
disrespected my family and and he cared about disrespecting the fans more than how he shit talked his own son and wife.
Also said that he's like 66-0 or something like that.
Didn't he fucking lose? Didn't someone pin him literally like less than 4 years ago?
Not only that, but if we're talking about disrespect, the last person that really disrespected him for real was Matt Riddle. And what did he do about that?
Nothing, because he knew Matt Riddle would have ate him alive. Because Matt Riddle's a legitimate combat athlete. Matt Riddle would have dog walked Goldberg. Who's next? The emergency room.
Okay, Bludd, the last person to disrespect Goldberg was. Wait, no, you said it was. No, someone asked who was the last person to pin Goldberg, and that was Drew McIntyre. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, I don't give a fuck about Goldberg. I said it when he returned that I'm glad he's back. Yeah, well, I don't give a fuck. I just want someone to take the title off of Gunther because I hate him. I'm biased. But yeah, not Gunther. God damn it, English. Goldberg's reasoning for wanting this and not earning it is fucking stupid, like Bludd said. Instead of waiting, you got called out in October and you're waiting till June of 2025 to do this shit. You could have, here's what we could have done. We could have had this match sooner instead of having that triple threat between Damian Priest, Gunther, and Finn Balor at the return of Saturday night's main event. We could have.
Toxic. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. Don't let this eat into his time. I just had to say this because when you said it happened in October, you waited until June of 2025. First thing I thought of was CM Punk's theme. This fire burns always. I'm sorry. I fucking had
to. Oh, fuck you. Anyways. Instead of having that triple threat at the return of Saturday night's main event between Gunther, Damian, and Finn, you could have put Gunther versus Goldberg then, and then take that triple threat and put it on Jay's title defense so he didn't have to get that much hate when he won the Rumble. They waited too long for this. They could have done this shit back in December of 2024. But they waited until fucking June. Fucking stupid.
Yeah. So, I'm with the other two. I fucking hate this. Why? No fucking sense whatsoever. In fact, the direct number on him claiming I get to skip the line. I'm 167-0. Dude, no the fuck you're not. No, you're not. Whatsoever. Here's another problem. By saying this is my retirement match, you have now taken out every single sense of disbelief for this match. And you have already told us the fucking ending. By saying this is my retirement match, you have already said, well, I'm losing. You've already said it. Every sense of disbelief that could possibly have been there, even the slightest bit, because we all hate Goldberg, the slightest bit of disbelief is now gone because you have announced this as your retirement match, meaning you're not taking the title off of Gunther. You have no chance on taking the title off of Gunther. You have flat out already announced that Gunther is retaining at Saturday night's main event. There's that. But yeah, I'm with you guys on this. I do not like the fact that this match is happening. It is irritating, and it just shouldn't be happening whatsoever. Fuck Goldberg.
I just love how all of us wrestling fans just hate all of like the old school legends now. Like fucking people now, like I saw the reports that Coco Beware is getting into some trouble. People hate Coco Beware. People hate Hulk Hogan. People hate Goldberg. It's like, fuck all the old heads. But you know what I didn't hate about this was we finally get officially an announcement that Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn are going to wrestle at some point. But I did not see if they made the announcement as to when. But it was an interesting backstage segment that Karrion Kross got into Sami Zayn's head so bad that Sami Zayn hit Karrion Kross, nice punch to the face, and Karrion Kross sold it, but at the end, they said, got him. And I thought that was so lovely. I thought that was so interesting because we've seen Karrion Kross try to get in other people's heads before. Xavier Woods from months back, then AJ Styles, now Sami Zayn. And I'm thinking, was Karrion Kross just trying to fuck with people just so he can get a match with them, so he can get some fucking TV time? Like the lengths Karrion Kross is willing to go just to get a fucking match on TV. And he finally got it, and it's going to be versus Sami Zayn. I don't know if we know when. Do we know? Have they made that announcement yet? No? Okay. But I'm excited for this.
Toxic, did they? Did they? Because he said it's going to happen, but I didn't
Yes,
hear
they
them
did. They did. When they were announcing the card for Night of Champions, it appeared Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. So it's happening Saturday.
Really? So we got that
Yes.
match made for this weekend, and they also made the match for Rhea versus Raquel this weekend. Okay.
But
So
we've
two
also
non-title
got
matches at Saturday night's main, or two non-title matches at Night of Champions.
We also got a match taken out, though, as Dom's ribs are apparently injured. So
That's
Dom
probably
and
why they
AJ
added
aren't
this
going.
in. That's probably why they added one of these matches in to fill in the slot, because generally Triple H likes a 5-match card. So
Yeah.
That's got to be a work, though, right, with Dominic?
it's possible that it is, but he does wrestle a lot, apparently, on and off TV, and eventually the mileage just catches up with you. So we'll have to see. Or they just felt like they'll hold their breath for it and get these two things out of the way and then put him and AJ on somewhere they feel like it might be more important.
No, it's not. It's not a work because this is the last Monday Night Raw before Night of Champions, and if they were gonna do something,
said that apparently both of them are uncomfortable because of like the current stuff over there with going over to Saudi. I'm not sure if that's actually true or not.
I don't
but
blame
that
them.
has been what has been said.
Yeah, that could be it. I don't blame them, honestly. And if you're Dominic Mysterio, you probably got it in pretty good with the higher ups there being Rey Mysterio's kid and everything. So Dom was
Well,
probably
not to
like,
mention, the company also does, it is reported the company also does generally give talent an option to whether or not they go over to Saudi for the shows. They're not forced to go, but they are heavily pressured from what it's said in the report. But maybe because of this, he was just like, you know what, absolutely not. And then they just said it was an injury on TV to get any heat off of him. But fair play to him. We can get this match anyway down the road. You know, AJ versus Dom wasn't really built that much anyway. They tried to make it seem like AJ's been breathing down my neck after like one fucking segment where he punched him in the face. So if we can get a little bit more time to build this, I think it'll be better for it.
all right, y'all, let's move on really quickly. And I'm actually going to talk about this match also, kind of like the Gunther segment. Going into this, I really didn't care too much about it. But Bayley versus Becky Lynch changed my mind because this match was fucking awesome. Like, these two women know each other so goddamn well. They work so well together. They got the chemistry. This was a good match in the ring. They kept it in the ring for like the better part of the match, and then as soon as they got out the ring, it was like, okay, shit's about to go down now. This isn't a wrestling match anymore. This is going to turn into something else. And soon enough, here comes Lyra Valkyrie, and she tries to help Bayley. Becky gets her hands on Lyra. Lyra tries to get her hands on Becky. But, Becky dares her. What a smart move by Becky Lynch, too. I love this version of Becky. I really enjoyed because she's telling Lyra, hit me. You will I will retain my shit if you hit me. And things got crazy. Things got chaotic. They got hectic. It was fun. The match was great. The Gaga was great. Lyra Valkyrie got involved. DQ. Now you got beef with Bayley and Lyra. I really enjoyed this from top to bottom, surprisingly, because I have been hating everything that has to do with Becky, but this was great. Bludd, what did you think about this?
About to say, you're changing your tune a lot tonight here, Snug. Now you want to see Gunther versus Goldberg. Now you're on Team Becky for how she's doing. I said it in the chat as soon as the match was over. Lyra is a fucking idiot. Is exactly what I put in the chat. It's been very hard for me to get into Lyra Valkyria. For majority of her main roster run, it's been very difficult. I liked her when they first brought her up as a successor to Becky Lynch a year ago and some change. But some of the decisions have really been making me mad. She was starting to get me on board with her roughly when Becky turned heel and we were getting the promos back and forth and stuff. And I liked both their matches. I thought their matches were really, really good. Sorry about that. But then tonight absolutely just soured me on Lyra's character and booking. Of all of the ways to book a DQ finish to one hell of a fucking match, this was stupid. So we already knew. So Lyra's not an idiot, right? Getting involved gets a DQ. It would have been smarter if they had booked it that when Becky attacked her, she reversed it and she threw Becky into the prime hydration station or the stairs or over the announcer's table, because then it's a direct reaction, physical, hands-on, and active competitor in a match. Now you DQ. Now you can say, well, I was defending myself. That makes more sense. To have Bayley, who has Becky on the fucking ropes and is about to hit that Randy Savage elbow drop and then probably win with and finish the match. Lyra sees Bayley up on the top rope and goes, you know what? I'm just going to slide in and start hitting Becky with some forearms and ground and pound directly underneath Becky in the freaking drop zone of the turnbuckle, or Bayley in the drop zone of the turnbuckle. I was furious. I was like, this is the stupidest way you could have had this DQ caused. You could have easily had, because Becky had already attacked her, right? If Becky had attacked her again, she then defends herself by hitting Becky with a move to save herself, or reverses it and it causes Becky to hit something. Now it's contact. Now you can throw the match out and you can say, well, I was defending myself, and that gives the actual turmoil between Bayley and Lyra. Bayley's mad because the DQ happened, but Lyra's like, you have to understand, I was protecting myself while trying to help you. She was trying to cheat. No. Lyra, the baby face, just slides in and starts jumping the fucking competitor in the match like a heel and screws her friend out of her title shot. It was great match, hampered down by the dumbest fucking bit of DQ finish booking I've seen in a long fucking time. It completely ruined the end of the match for me. And these girls were fucking on fire, but it was fucking stupid.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting that triple threat between Bayley, Becky, and Lyra for that Women's Intercontinental Championship. It's Snug's favorite matches. Yay! Yeah, this was fucking stupid. Hated this match. It wasn't even anything. The match itself was great. The thing that ruined it was the fucking finish. Why? Okay, the thing is, why didn't you disqualify Becky when she brought the chairs and started burying Bayley with them? And then you have Lyra. Why was Lyra even needed? Why was she even needed out here? I don't think she was needed. Lyra should have just stayed backstage and let Becky win clean. Or at least try to. Becky probably would have pulled something. I don't know. I just hated the finish. Lyra's an idiot. No offense, but yeah.
So, shout out to Soto619 because I was watching his, and he mentioned something right off the top that I didn't notice at first until he said it. Did Becky have her side plates on that title tonight? Or was it the default WWE side plates? It just felt off. We know for a fact that she has side plates, but they're not on it. It just made no sense. And it gave me the feel, and him as well, that Bayley was going to win. But, unfortunately, because of Lyra Valkyria, she did not. Girl, what the fuck were you thinking? Even Bayley in the ring was like, when she was on the top rope, she looked down at all of this like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? I was just about to end this. I was about to end this, get that title, and you would be first in line. Why the hell are you doing this? That ending was full-blown bullshit. It was irritating. Because the match itself was amazing. These girls know each other through and through. They have fantastic chemistry in the ring. But the ending is what fucked over the match. I hate it.
Honestly, could have just let Bayley win and then, hey, now you can beat her ass.
No, I get what you're saying, Bludd. Yeah, because we saw her already like go up to Bayley and she kind of like put her arms up and was like, okay, all right, you're right. And she backed off and I'm like, okay, that's it then. And then out of nowhere, fucking she runs back in the ring again and starts punching her. And I'm just like, what the fuck? But yeah. No, you guys have some pretty interesting points when it comes to this match. The whole plate thing, that's a good observation. I do like sometimes pick up on little things like that, like, oh, they're both wearing black. Oh, they're gonna turn heel. You know, like little things like that. But no, we've seen it countless times whenever there's a title change. they're still, they still hold up the belt with their opponent's plates on the belt. So that's not really like, I don't think anything that makes a big difference in matches, but it is a good observation. The thing with the chairs too, what Toxic said, like the referee is just letting Becky stack all these like weapons on top of Bailey to hold her down, and I'm just like, do something, ref, what the fuck, what's going on here? But um yeah, I mean, I guess I was just really into this match that I kind of like overlooked a lot of those things that you guys were pointing out. But we'll see what happens with those three. Let's go on to the main event because surprisingly, y'all, I hated this match. I hated this match. The match was great. Okay, I'm not hating on it because they botched or because they didn't do the right moves that I wanted or whatever. Nah, it was because I hate feeling divided like this. I'm a fan of both of these guys. Yes, I am a fan of Jey Uso, even though I like to talk shit. Um, when Cody was getting his offense, I was like, yeah, let's go, Cody. And then Jay was making his comeback. I was like, yeah, let's go, Jay. And I'm just like, I don't know who I want to win here. And I don't like feeling like that. I wasn't sure who to root for. I honestly couldn't care like who won. And I don't like that. I don't like that feeling. Um, the definition of fight forever for me was this match because I didn't want to see either of them lose. It was weird, but overall it was a great match. Cody Rhodes ended up winning, so he's gonna go on to face Randy Orton. I think the right guy won here. I think the bigger match at Night of Champions is Randy versus Cody instead of Jey Uso. So I'm happy with the outcome. But yeah, man, I mean, when it comes to the match, no one was really cheating. There was like the two biggest baby faces in the company, a lot of respect between these two, which is nice, but I like a little like dirty fucking wrestling sometimes, like some real heelish shit in these matches. But what did you think about the main event, Mr. Bludd?
I mean, I completely understand what you're saying. When you can't decide, my wife actually refused to watch it because she's such a big fan of both of them. She's like, I'm not going to watch it. Just tell me who wins because I don't want to watch it. The reason you hated it, and I'll put that in quotes because you didn't really hate it, it was just too hard for you to really pick a side here, is the same reason I loved it. My wife said, I don't want to watch it. I said, why? And she's like, because why do I hate that they're doing this. I don't hate either of these guys. Why are they making me watch my two of my favorites fight each other? That's so stupid. Like, I don't want to watch them fight. They're friends. I said, babe, that's why it's great storytelling. They played that video package right before earlier in the night where it like showed, like, you got to understand, at one point, these guys were fucking enemies. Okay. Because the bloodline was trying to take down Cody. Then they went from enemies to friends taking the bloodline down together. Then friends in war games against the Judgment Day. Then tag team champions together. Then helping Cody finish his story at WrestleMania 40 because Jay speared his own brother off the freaking ramp in the middle of that main event. Okay. Like, you got to understand, these guys have had such a tumultuous history where there's such an unbreakable bond there now, such a loyalty there. They kind of remind me of Shawn Michaels and Triple H. They can go apart on their separate roads, but come back together. And they're two main event guys, main event talents who are world championship material that can tag together, then split up, then come back together, fight each other, but still be friends. I like that energy. The fact that they have so much history makes them having to fight each other. It makes that match so much more watchable because you're like, oh my God, this could go either way. And because they're friends, they're going to give it their all. So you're in for one hell of a main event, which we got. The finisher reversals, the finisher stealing, the crossroads from both men, not just one super Cody Cutter, not a springboard Cody Cutter, but a super RKO, okay, from Randy to a nod to Randy Orton. Then the power slam, the running scoop power slam from Jay on to Cody, another nod to Randy Orton. Like this was really awesome. Not only were these some of Jay's best spears, by the way, but he super kicked the shit out of Cody. If you saw that slow-mo replay when Cody was on his knees for the low-end super kick. I thought it was great. I think the bigger match is Cody versus Randy. I just wish Randy was a heel for this match. I felt like there was a bigger story for the first Cody versus Randy match. If Randy had betrayed Cody, and then we got a better story out of that from like Cody having to fight his now evil mentor. But that being said, it'll be the same feeling that we got from watching Jay versus Cody tonight when we watch Randy versus Cody at Night of Champions, because it's literally going to be two of the closest friends that you could think of, mentor and mentee, but only one can win, and you don't know who to choose. And I like that. So I thought this was awesome.
Oh, fuck, I'm in the same boat as you, Snug. I hated this match. I didn't really hate it, but I just couldn't decide who. I like Cody. I'm a big Cody crybaby. Cody crybaby for life. But I like Jey Uso. I wanted Jay to win this because fucking Gunther, dude. He screwed him out. He screwed him out last year. Hell, this is where Jay lost last year, the semifinals. At this point, just don't put Jay in another King of the Ring. Don't. Just don't. If you're going to make him lose in the semifinals, be over as fuck. The rest of the matches, which in this case it was only one fatal four-way. I don't know why they did that and not the huge bracket like they did yet last year. Probably because timing. Anyways, just don't put him. If he's going to be super over in the other matches, just don't. And then he loses in the semifinal, just don't put him in another tournament. Don't put him in another King of the Ring tournament. That's all I'm going to say about Jay. As I was sitting and thinking about why they chose Cody, I realized that that's the bigger match, not Randy versus Jay, which would I like to see that? Yes, would we all like to see that? Probably, maybe, I don't know. IWC sucks. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong, but anyways, yeah. I mean, am I glad Cody won? Yes. Am I not glad that he won? Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, it is now official. John Cena will be at SummerSlam. This is now the battle that we face. Will it be the WrestleMania rematch or will it be the Backlash rematch? We will see how this goes. When it comes to Jay versus Cody, I completely get where you, Snug, and you, Toxic, I completely get where you're coming from. Because as soon as this was put out after both Cody and Jay won, I had one thing on my mind. It didn't matter who was winning this match because there was going to be backlash either way. People were going to come after the ending because, no matter what, even if since Cody won, even if Jay won, it doesn't matter. There was going to be backlash from it anyways. There was no possible way to get out of it because of the fact that you've got two of the biggest superstars in the damn business right now going head to head. Two of the biggest baby faces in the company going head to head. There was no possible way that there was not going to be people hating on this ending. No matter which side won, it was a lose-lose situation here. I actually did love the match for everything that Bludd has already said. The nods to Randy Orton, Jey Uso pulling off his own crossroads. It was a crossroads reversal, too. because Cody had him in his own, and Jay was like, nope, and put Cody in his own move and actually pulled it off. I absolutely loved that. It was a close call. Because like I said, it overall didn't matter which one was winning. People were going to hate on it anyways.
All right, well, that was a Monday Night Raw review with the Snug Wrestling crew. Thanks to everyone that hung out with us. We'll see you guys Wednesday. Mr. Bludd, can you do the honors and take us out of here?
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here tonight on Snug Wrestling. Join us every single Monday and Friday night for after show live reactions and reviews of the show. Then also go ahead and check out Snug Wrestling on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, where we're posting weekly clips of in-time real reactions of Snug, our fearless leader here, watching the actual shows as they happen. He does actually post those live reactions within just minutes of them actually happening live in real time on the show. So you can check those out on the shows, on our socials. Make sure to join us every single Thursday night for one-on-one sessions with myself and Edgar here, right here, the leader of Snug Wrestling, live on TikTok, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, where we do one-on-one sessions every week with random wrestling topics. This Thursday, we're talking about fantasy booking, the matches we think should be on the upcoming Women's Evolution pay-per-view. We're extremely excited. Join us Wednesday night, by the way, same time, 6 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, for our predictions for Night of Champions in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Thank you guys so much. We've been Snug Wrestling